I've been waiting for that for so long.
This is
The Matrix
exclusive.
monster is up there with the Matrix. Promise y'all he just up this game. This boy is fast, explosive, that's that power, precise, and he got a game on mentality.
That's exclusive footage from The Matrix, aka Andre Dirrell, uh, former Olympic medalist. Well, I guess if you're Olympic medalist, you're Olympic medalist. It's not former world champion, top fighter, athletic ability, strength, power, and then the current top fighter in the game right now, who's being, uh, consciously avoided, and rightfully so. And we're going to get into some stuff, but I'm going to break it down today. What does it take to actually bring back that era of the super middleweights when there was Andre Dirrell, Andre Ward, Carl Froch, Arthur Abraham, just one killer after the next? And that's what we're going to get into. So here's a conversation in our Champions University with my buddy Andre Dirrell. And I always had a lot of admiration for Andre. And he just is, without saying, he just has class. He's always, anyone who's watched him knows that he's always kept his reputation clean and intact. And when you see this conversation, you'll see a different side of Andre. He's passionate, and this is what we want. There's also another one of our coaches who's currently in Champions University, and we're going to basically get an opportunity to see these guys do what they do. They're the best in the business, man. So education is important. So with that being said, let's get into it.
6th or 7th round to where he started long game. It's not about what you do right here, right now. It's the long game. And 36 minutes is a hell of a long time. You know what I'm saying? When you're in there with a monster.
How would you have fared if you got in there with Bernard?
With Bernard Hopkins? I know it's a battle with the minds. I would have to use my quickness as well as my speed. Now, I hope they caught that, right? Quickness as well as speed, right? He would sneak shots in. He knew how to get off with a couple of shots. He knew how to step in. He knew how to turn. He knew how to tie you up. You know what I'm saying? A couple slight dirty tactics. And if they work, great. I don't got no problem with that, right? So I knew I would have known I would have had to play the same game. And I would have to do it just as long as he would. You know what I'm saying? It's a battle of the minds at that point. So it's just all about boxing and being ready to get rugged if you have to, but then strategically, you can't just the second you lose it with a guy like Bernard, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, you lose. You fall into that trap.
Yeah, he's a real thief. He's a real cat burglar in that joint. I think I think the great fight for you that would have been really great, and I'm gonna ask you who you think your greatest matchup would have been, like literally. But I think you would have been a great. I think if you and Chad Dawson would have been in the ring against each other, even though he was at 75, but I think that would have been exciting. I think that probably would have been like, people would have been like, I want to see that again.
Good call.
Like that was good. Like, because you had similar things. I mean, I see you as much stronger. I mean, because I can look at, I'm sort of like a physiologist. I can look at things that people, I said, no, look at his eyebrows. Like there are things I know about the DNA that people are like, what the fuck? How do you know that? And I'd be right. It's like, because, but I think that who do you think, if you would have paired off with, that would have been a great trilogy possibly?
Yeah. Later on in my career would have definitely been Andre Ward. I would have loved that fight, and I wish I had the opportunity to take it when I did, but I didn't due to unfortunate circumstances. And the way my career went after that, we never aligned after that, so that was kind of whack there. You know, Chad Dawson, I like that pick. You know, we actually sparred each other. Man, we probably sparred each other more than 10 times, getting him ready for Adamak, his first world championship fight. And we had some great matches in there. Great matches. Sometimes I had the upper hand. Sometimes he had the upper hand.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a southpaw, one of the first great southpaws I done faced, height-wise, strength wise,
Yeah.
boxing wise. You know, he tested me. He really took me to another level early in my career because I had the opportunity to work with him, man. So
Yeah.
me and him meeting up in the ring would have been a great experience. Would have been a great
Hmm.
experience.
I
And the
think
rematch for Frost too. That would have went light years better.
I like I like Alan Green. I just think
Mhm.
you are better, but I
Mhm.
think he would have been a good fun fight. I think you knock him out though, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that would have
yeah,
just been
yeah,
really
mhm,
good television. You know, I
yeah,
think that would have
yeah,
just been perfect moving because I'm working
mhm,
with guys about moving their athletes. I'm
mhm,
like,
mhm,
man, you could give the fans a great fight, but for the
mhm,
guy who's the key, the guy who is the real show guy for that
mhm,
night,
mhm,
it's almost a walkover. But it's
mhm.
like going to be such a good fight. You don't know it, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
knows he's going to get this
yeah,
guy. It's
yeah.
only win. It's not
Mhm,
going the distance.
mhm,
Like it's going to be
mhm,
one of them nine
mhm,
round knockouts. It's like
mhm.
whoa,
And that's where you take a guy like Alan Green, right?
yeah,
Ward couldn't stop him, right? And I
yeah,
still believe I could have if we would have faced each other because Allen, if you allow him to get off, you allow him to shoot his shots off. He do
yeah.
everything with like a sort of every punch basically got to be hard. It ain't too much finesse to his game, but he does has that. I'm not
No,
eliminating that completely.
yeah.
But when he throws, he means to inflict damage pretty much with every shot he's throwing.
That's classic. What could have happened in the super middleweight division, and in the super middleweight division, for those of you who do not understand how stacked it was, I just named 6 or 7. They had this tournament called Super Six, and you had Andre Dirrell, Andre Ward, even Saki Obika came in, Alan Green, uh, Chad Dawson, and these guys kind of were on the perimeters of it. Some people, there were so many super middleweights, Carl Froch, and just Mikhail Kessler. It was the greatest era, and people were so hell spent on overlooking what was actually happening at that time. That's never happened again. A tournament of that nature with that caliber of fighter. We were watching history, so I tell you all to appreciate it. Now we're going to get into another part of the conversation, and what we want to do is make it clear to you who's inside and involved in this work. These are today's best. They're educated. They're tied to lineages, and one of the guys here currently was right here, and he was actually refereeing. It's in Champions University, and there's a way that you can reach the top. There's a way that you can get there, and you could be formidable, and it's just another day to you. So I like to congratulate all of the next school of guys who come in, but remember to make sure that you leave a comment because we are giving 3 scholarships away yesterday during this stream. Please stay tuned for this next episode clip that we're going to go into with Dirrell. You guys are going to love this, but we wanted to make sure that we continue to recruit the best of the best. And there are some people that are not in a position, posture wise, to do so. And they don't truly understand the magnitude of what we're doing. But I can tell you this, there is nothing above this level. We're giving you over 134 years of the right kind of knowledge. And this is the knowledge you'll need because the levels don't start changing for real until you get into the world championship levels. So when you see these guys, I'm bringing them on and I'm talking about it with you directly through them. And I'm also talking through them so that you can understand from their point of view and their vantage point how important it is to really understand this game of boxing. So you're in that place right now. It's pivotal. But listen to this conversation that we are about to have. And I'm going to congratulate and welcome the new members of Champions University. And I want to make sure that you comment whatever you want to comment. Just make sure that you comment something. We're choosing 3 people. That's $45,000 that we are giving away. So make sure you comment. I don't care if it's your city. Let me know where you're representing. Let me know what state you're rocking in. If you are in the level of competitive boxing that requires titles and medals, you definitely want to do that. That will finally give you something that gives you the upper hand. So listen to this next segment. It was really, really good. And I enjoyed doing this with Andre. He's a really good guy. And right here, currently now, he's down here at Boxer. So, if you need that smoke, go get that work.
The seventh, eighth, it'll start from the seventh round, sixth or seventh round, to where he
Yeah.
start to wear. And if I remain a threat to him, then I know it'll be only a matter of time before I touch him and get him out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a cat like Alan Green, battle of
Yeah.
mind. Like I just have to, it'll be mind up here because I don't think he had it
No,
IQ wise.
you would have been just
Yeah,
too much for him, but it would have just been good. 6 rounds of
yeah.
getting them down,
It
breaking
would
them
have been
down.
a
It
good fight. Yep,
would have
for
been
six
great
rounds.
for just
I agree.
TV. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really think if
I
they
like that.
promoted it right, it could have been a pay-per-view kind of like, oh snap. If he would, because you
Mhm.
got to hold your market
Mhm.
value. If he
Mhm.
holds his market value, your
Mhm.
name was a market value.
Yep.
If I would have
Yep.
came in, I would have done things. What I would have done is let people understand the makeup of you. People
Mhm.
don't understand. They say
Mhm.
athletic,
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
but they don't
Mhm.
understand the
Yeah.
dynamics that
Yeah.
came. And that's
Mhm.
what people get. I can do a video like that. It could do 3 million views
Mhm.
because people love the depth when you
Yeah.
see more than they
Yeah.
see.
That theory is highly plausible. Like, because it's only theory until we see it, but we base it off what we've seen or who
Yeah.
we know. Like Crawford, for instance, man, he is mentally tough. He tough as nails mentally,
He's the best.
right?
I don't see anybody beating him, but
No, so you have to find a weakness. It's the first
yeah,
person to defeat Crawford, if that happens,
mhm.
is to find a weakness and
Well,
expose
the
that
mastery.
weakness.
The mastery would be disrupt what he think is going to happen,
Yes.
and you can
Mhm.
do that. And that's you have to be at the. I break the levels down.
Mhm.
First technique, then
Mhm.
skills and sets, and then concept. That's when you're able to go to craft
Mhm.
and then become cagey. Like
Mhm.
when you get cagey, what's his name? Abner Mares developed the level of KG because his skill had a limit. He's maxed out with skill. And
Mhm.
a guy who's cagey, Dwight Muhammad Cowie, people who can turn things around like when you don't see it coming, like,
Yeah.
God, how did he do
Mhm.
that? The New
Mhm.
England Patriots,
Mhm.
when Tom Brady would play, things just would happen. They just paid attention to detail
Yeah.
and then they would disrupt
Yeah.
things no matter how they did it. Hopkins would disrupt what you wanted to do. He wouldn't
Mhm.
just take it away, but
Mhm.
he would disrupt things as well. There are a lot of elements. And if you do that,
Yeah.
T, I'm not going to beat Crawford with
Mhm.
skills, or I'm not gonna beat, someone like Tank with skills.
Mhm.
There are things that will not allow what he wants to do to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And that is what you got to find the right
Yeah.
huckleberry to pull that
And when
off.
you say cage, you mean like tough wise? Like
No,
yeah.
like if you like to throw, like if you, all right, you see, this is not only just talk, this is education and levels. And there are things that if you have inside of the sport of boxing, now reaching these levels of what we call KG, see, that's a level. And if you don't have it, what you'll find out about boxing is that you have to have a better skill set than the other guy. But if you're cagey, you've reached that level, then if you go back to the Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson, you can't outstrength Mike Tyson. You couldn't outspeed Mike Tyson. You were not quicker than Mike Tyson. But when you become a master of your skill set, and then you develop a craft above the level of craft which most fighters will not reach, then there's KG. It's a level of degree. It's just like a doctorate. You can get a bachelor's degree. You can get an associate's degree. You can just get a basic diploma, or you can get a master's. But when you go to KG, that's your doctorate. That means I'm unbeatable by just skills alone. And that's what we mean when we talk about this. And these are the educational realms and things that most don't quite understand about the sport of boxing. So that's where you have to pick and choose a fighter because you don't quite understand what is this thing that I hear about. And that's why sometimes when I had to pick, I got chosen for ESPN, the Insider, to handicap because I understand matches. It's tough. Now, there's no magician in this thing because I don't know what's going on in this guy's camp. But when it comes down to getting in the ring and in the first round, you're going to find that there is things that you can pay close attention to prior to the fight happening. And that's how you pick. So with that being said, I like to take 1 second, and I don't want to waste your time, but I definitely want to give you some food. Here are the guys who are currently new members in the Champions University. And then I have one more plug that I want to share with you guys. And that is a couple of seconds of this sparring with one of our participants, my man Dre, and super middleweight champion of the world, Benavidez. Floyd Hill, welcome to Champions University. Ismail Amaya, welcome to Champions University. Heshan, Guana Wardana, welcome to the school. Patrick Frazier, Keith Lashley, welcome to the school. Dante Clark, David Acosta, Clinton Owner, Sammy Lopez, and David Clark. You see, these individuals' trajectory in life has now taken upon a new level. And I have to say, special shouts out to my guy. And you see how the world's emerging with Dirrell and our coach here. Just look at 15 seconds of just work.
Yeah, go say my
Okay.
so long. Mexican monster. He's up there with the Matrix. Promise y'all he just up this game. This boy is fast, explosive, fast at power, precise, and he got a game on mentality. I give you nothing. I need you to give me nothing. Yeah, go say my shit. So, he can go as far as he wants. As long as he keep doing what he's doing. Easy work. Better go another round, man. All that shit.
We played this clip before to let you know what actually is required at the high levels of boxing. So sometimes people don't have the luxury of being in a place where there are a lot of real high level talents to go up against. So you fight who's available. We would refer to this as, you're fighting cab drivers. So the record that you put into play is not real to us. And when you start fighting in gyms where it's real, then you realize that you got to get real work to prepare you for that. Because if you don't, what happens is you get the opportunity to be on television and then you are exposed. And we see this a lot. And this happened when I was a younger coach. I learned a lot of scenarios like that would happen right when the guy had the opportunity to get on television. So here is Mauricio Suleiman speaking directly to that. And this is my duty to make sure that you guys hear from the horse's mouth. And that's pretty much what we're going to make sure the transparency is here in Champions University. So take a listen to Mauricio Suleiman and you be the judge. Are you getting your athletes prepared at the level that's required? And are you following the actual steps that's going to get you and your athlete positioned for the top 10 of boxing? Here's Mauricio.
A very complex subject.
Yeah.
Because records do not speak. They cannot tell you the story. So you can have a boy 20-0 that has been fighting against very low opposition. And then you face him against someone who is 8-12. Everybody would think that the 20-0 is going to run him over. But if the other kid fought very tough opposition, he might very easily win that fight. So what we do, we have the ratings are due to merit. And we have a series of situations that we have to study to rank a fighter. Record, activity, level of opposition, and we analyze each fight. If you are fighting in your hometown as the home, as the and the other guy is the visitor. If you're fighting abroad, if you're going out of state, if you're going out of the country, all these things come up to create a formula, and we have rating committee members in 22 countries of the world.
Okay.
Every month we receive all their input, then we create a draft, everyone reviews it, and then we come out with the official ratings. For the best rating for a fighter, you have to be active and you have to fight against good level of opposition. That would bring you up in the rankings much more than if you're not active, if you're fighting against bums, if you are only taking easy fights, and everyone analyzes all that data and gives it a value.
Understanding this kind of approach first will prevent you from building a fighter up on a lot of low-level competition and then expecting them to perform at a high level, because it's much different. There's a level of dexterity that the hands and the body must go through, the densities when you're fighting rougher guys, tougher guys, more explosive guys, more prepared guys, guys who can deal with what you throw. So athletes today must be conscious. Coaches must be even more conscious, because you are the actual father figure. You are the actual leader, the guideline. You are the principal of the school. You lead them into an area where they require attention. And so what do? You make sure that you have these areas covered. Another way to make sure that you get into the top 25 is to pay close attention to how that athlete is managing their career in the world of attracting more people. Show the people why, how amazing they are, what kind of a person they are. It's the act of building your own personal brand. Personal branding is basically who you are as a thumbprint. And when people understand what that is and who you are, what that does is allow them to get right behind you if they feel like they fall in line with the same morals and principles in life on this earth as them. And so that gives them the real wherewithal to decide to follow you, not just watch you when you come on television, but to actually follow you. And that's how we build it. But what we want to do is hear from the president of the WBC about what is it that they think about today in the part of social media that will impact a fighter's career, whether the fighter gets opportunities and makes a lot of money, or if they're constantly having to scrap and scrape for scraps. What criteria do you guys use to guide your fighters to have an active, influential social media?
Social media is a reality. It is the present. We are living in a different world from 5, 10, 20 years ago. And without a doubt, social media brings the opportunity for an athlete to gain popularity and to benefit his career. However, you have to be very careful with social media. Whatever you post is something that stays there. And whatever you post is something that the people are going to label you on. If you do not understand social media, I recommend that you study social media, and before you get very active, or if you are very active now, study. Get someone to help you, because it can be a great advocate, a great friend, a great supporter, but it can also be very negative for you. In social media, there are uh, many fake accounts, many
Oh,
cowards that
yes,
hide behind an anonymity. So
yes, you're right.
if you're a fighter and this guy writes to you and makes you irritated,
Yes,
and he writes that you're a bum, that you're X, Y, and Z, and you believe that is what is being said in the world, then you are wrong. It's one or five or 10 just going against you. So
yeah.
you have to learn to use social media. You have to learn to understand it, and you have to learn how to read it in order to just be positive. It can be very well, but it can be very dangerous. Be careful.
This is what we want all of you to have, the ammunition to know exactly what the powers that be are looking for. And if you understand what they're looking for, then what happens? It makes it easier for you to execute this. Now you can really go out there and you can Brad Pitt this thing to the next level. You can Sean Connery this thing. You can go out here and you can build the brand name like Matthew McConaughey, Denzel Washington, the greatest of the great, the Jack Nicholses. All of these people have a brand. Sylvester Stallone, Sly, that is. And you can have that. You can do that. And that's what's available to you. Because if you're an active fighter or the trainer that's responsible for that fighter, that gives you an actual one up on everybody else. Because, see, you already have a sport behind you that has people have an affinity for. And now all you have to do is show them that you're available. It doesn't matter what level you're on. The fact of the matter is they get to ride that wave with you. So when you're in that position, always look at it as a positive. Keep it simple for yourself. Remember, you don't need to go out and do what I've done and gotten all these expensive lights and cameras and microphones. You can do it with just your camera phone. And you can do it exactly where you stand right now. 20-second video on it. What is it that you're doing right now? What is it that you've done today that has helped you improve your life? What is it that you will do tomorrow that will improve your actual management of weight? Little things. You don't have to show people that you're training and the secrets behind what you do, but just a little bit about who you are. That goes a long way. So with that being said, this is how we table all of these things in Champions University. We keep the most common things front and center, and then hopefully this will be in a manner that we do it that you can receive it. Because if you learn how to do it because it's been put in front of you in a simple way, something that you can digest, think about how far you're going to get. Think about when you put on your shoes every single day, that there's a good chance that you could be one of the athletes to represent the Jordan brand. You can have opportunities to be partners with people like Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, all of these great brands, Under Armour, Nike. That's what happens when you get into the front lane. Canelo Alvarez took the opportunity and dove right in and started doing deals with Under Armour. Now he has his own, commercials with the alcohol brands, liquors. These are opportunities only because you make them. You've done the right thing. So use it as a tool to get the things that you want in life. And maybe you will take that and use it, and you'll find that I was right about it. You will be seen in a different light. The people that are around you will start to look at you like you are the one. You're the chosen one because you made the right moves. Really thought, and right before that, I was right about it. You will be seen in a different light. The people that are around you will start to look at you like you are the one. You're the chosen one because you made the right moves, and these are the right moves. If you're a sharpshooter, let's just say somebody like Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
If Floyd is sharp, Floyd gonna do the stuff and he's gonna throw the shots.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is, you can take the shot to get on the inside and just throw his whole balance.
Yes.
You got to keep doing things that's going to disrupt them. And right before the break, Like Bernard, hip shots on the inside hip. See, I was in the medical field too, so I know a whole lot more about the human body. I've cut bone, I've opened bodies, I've done so many things with the human body. I know where every vein and vessel and artery lay and reside, every nerve.
Is that what you saying? I believe it, but you said you was in the medical field.
Yeah, for real. I was in the medical field. I was on the top surgical team.
So you saying that's how Bernard thought?
But that's how he really thought, and that's why now you take these athletes who are unbeatable, and the reason why they're unbeatable is because the coach don't understand other levels of thinking. Just like when people trying to beat a guy like Floyd, condition-wise, they're trying to outthrow him, and I'm gonna be the one to hit him with. It's like, no, he's not. That's not the right game. He's not playing the game you're playing. You got a checkerboard, he's got a chessboard. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything he does is calculated. Everything he's letting you do is calculated.
Fought Curtis Stevens. That was like the low light of my life, right? Like, and I actually got in there to fight like that. I just didn't know the crowd wouldn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that was my first big fight professional. I think I only had like 11, 12 fights. I didn't even have a lot of fights when I fought him. Right. So it was a matchup really matched up too soon, right? They could have allowed it to get a little bigger, but they wanted that fight, they got it. And I went in there with that game plan. And I got so much hate from it, right? And I wasn't allowed on HBO no more, none of that. And then I had another opportunity. He put me there with Anthony Hanshaw, right? And some things you learn as a fighter once you step in the ring. You might not even realize you possess it until you step in the ring, and then you have to perform, or you're put in that situation or scenario to prove that you have it, right? Well, that happened for me, man, because one, he was strong. He had blunt force. You know, it wasn't nothing dynamic. It wasn't nothing just stood out, but he was strong. I watched him fight Floyd Mayweather. He's on fire at this point because he should have won that fight. I mean, not Floyd, but, Roy Jones. He should have won that fight. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much a highlight for him, regardless if he lost or not, right? And
that was a crazy fight.
Yeah, it was.
That's crazy. I could not believe that dude was not out of there in that first fight. I was like, I mean, just
But man, when I stepped in the ring with him, I knew I was going to bring. I knew I was going to have to bring something else out of the hat that I never did before. And then I had to show up from the last performance, which was Curtis Stevens.
Thanks for taking the time to watch. And this was exactly the kind of conversations that we actually have in our Champions University portal. And we know that that's important because a lot of you out here who are moving athletes along in their career, you want to provide the proper training, and you also want to know exactly what's coming, and you want to prevent any hurdles from knocking you off course. So that's what we do this for. Type the word school, and I'll see you next time in the winner's circle. So long. Peace.